Hello and welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is my crazy experiment to teach traditional painting using digital painting apps. In this video, we're going to do part 3 of the old fence post painting. In our last video, we added the clouds and the fence posts. In this video, I'm going to teach you some really neat tricks to add the small wildflowers and some details to the grass. If you're following along traditionally, I have a list of all the paint materials in part 1, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. The digital painting app is Infinite Painter for Android. And the first thing that we're going to start with in this section is doing the small wildflowers. So you want to go ahead and pick your airbrush category because you want to use this to make small flowers. So go ahead and first pick the Dexter brush using a red color, and for traditionally I use cadmium red light. Just go ahead and dot all the flower shapes around in your grass right here, in the bottom, behind the posts, in front of them, just all around in the grass. Now if you're painting traditionally, take an old worn-out toothbrush, take your cadmium red light and mix it with water and make a very thin paint mixture, and then flick these colors onto your canvas. And also we want to add all kinds of colors, so let's go ahead and pick cadmium yellow light, or just a light yellow. I've decreased the size a little bit on the Dexter brush, and I'm adding that into the grass, and you can do the same thing with your toothbrush and just go ahead and flick more colors. Just make sure you don't get it in the sky. It's okay to get it on the posts at the bottom. Now also we want to add a little bit of blue, so use ultramarine blue with a touch of white acrylic gesso, and then we want to add dioxazine purple, so go ahead and add some purple into this. And make your pattern sort of a zigzag pattern with your flowers, because we want them to be connecting. We don't want blobs of color that aren't connecting to each other, because it just doesn't look like natural flowers. So go ahead and add all these colors in here. And then I also want to add just a little bit of orange using the Haze airbrush. And go ahead and add color, dot it around in the back, and then go ahead and add a little bit of some pink colors. Now this would be, you can take cadmium red light and add white to it, or a little bit of yellow maybe. You just want kind of a light color. So go ahead and add all these flowers in there. Next we want to start on the grass details. So go ahead and pick your Chanel brush out of the ink brush category. And we want to give some real thin grass blades here. So we're going to pick a light yellow so that it will stand out against the background. And just go ahead and make a circular motion with your pen or your script brush. You want to use your script brush for this. And you want also a very thin inky-like paint mixture if you're painting along traditionally, and just lightly brush this on the canvas. So go ahead and keep using sort of a half circular motion to make these little small grass blades. And go ahead and put them in the back, add some to the top. We want to put them all in here because this is the detail part of your grass. And we also want to add a little bit of a darker green color here. So for your traditional color, that would probably be called hooker's green or spring green. And just go ahead and use the same technique using half circles, and you can bend the grass blades to the left or to the right. Just go ahead and make sure that you cover the bottoms of the posts, because we want to set the posts into the grass here and make it look like it's grass. And go ahead and bring the tops up over the grass in the back, because we want little sprigs of grass sticking out. Now I'm also going to use the Svetlana brush, which is one of my favorite brushes in Infinite Painter, because it gives a little bit of a spray look at the end of the stroke. And this looks like seed pods in the grass. Now you can do this with your toothbrush again, using a green paint mixture, or you can make little dots with the end of your script brush if you're doing this traditionally. But you go ahead and add this into the back and make sure that you get that over the top of the grass in the back, because we want to see these seed pods, because this adds detail to your painting. And go ahead and pick a little bit of yellow ochre or a light yellow color and go ahead and add some more to the main grass down in the bottom and around on the edges, and also cover the bottoms of your fence posts, because again, this sets your fence posts in the grass and it makes it look like they're in deep grass here. Now I also want to use the ribbon brush, because this gives it sort of a feathered look on the end of your grass. So just go ahead and use the ribbon brush to finish out your grass, and use green, use a dark green so that we kind of want it to show up, and put it in the corners of your paintings, because we want your paintings to be dark in the corners. And the reason is because that kind of keeps the viewer's eye focused on the center of your painting. So just go ahead and add all these little sprigs of grass with the ribbon brush in the back and over the posts again. And just keep doing this, and you're gradually, what this does is it gradually builds up your layers of detail in your grass, and just keep doing this. Now you're going to get this effect anyway with your script brush, but when you're doing this digitally, you have to use these 3 different brushes to get the grass techniques. This is the end of part 3 of our old fence post painting. In our next video, that will be our final video in this series, we will add the old barbed wire, and we will also add the big wildflowers and all the finishing up details that will be for this painting. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. And thank you everyone for watching, and thank you so much for your support. I'll catch you later.